Evening all. Mr. Tom, thank you for being here. How are you?
I was about to tip my imaginary hat.
Please
I
do.
realised I don't have one and I haven't got any hair to tip either.
Well, yeah, tug your forelock is not going to happen, is it? How are you? How have you been? And more importantly, what have you been watching?
I've been seeing some movies in the last week. Saw. I don't know how long it's been since I was last here. So
I think
I've
it was
done
two. I
nothing
was thinking this. I think it's been 2 weeks, isn't it? I don't think it's been 3. I think it's been 2 weeks. Because I know it took me that long to get around to watching the film one of the films you recommended. Although, to be fair to you, I think recommended's too strong a word, really. I don't think you recommended it.
I prefer to say as I made you aware of its existence.
You did, and I've got to say, I am talking about The Postman, and I found it really there's so much I have to say about this film. It's a surprising amount, given that it is comfortably. I don't say this lightly, but it is comfortably one of the worst films I've ever seen. But through that, it has something really interesting in it at its core. So I've been really. I watched it yesterday, and it's been on my mind ever since. And I think I remember you saying it's a dystopian film where Kevin Costner's character rebuilds society by building a post office. And I remember thinking, well, that's not where you'd normally start, is it? That's first of all, that's not anyone's real priority in an apocalyptic future vision of the world. But that, interestingly enough, is exactly, you could argue, how the United States began, because before there was a federal United States, they had the post office, and the first postmaster general was Benjamin Franklin. They took it incredibly seriously. And when you think about it, it does unite disparate places together with the banner of one sort of government. And at its core, what Kevin Costner's film does, it asks the question, what is a government? What is a country? What unifies a group of people? Because it wasn't like in Europe where ethnicity could unify you or location unifies you for hundreds of years. These are people who had nothing really in common but formed a state, and the post office is really an important part of that. And then I was looking into this. I've gone well deep into this, right? And then I was looking into it thinking, and 1997, United States is at its zenith. I mean, that's its peak. Cultural hegemony. Everyone wants to be America or is America. The Soviet Union collapsed 7 years before. They have no enemies. Fukuyama writes The End of History. He says that basically history's natural progression through evolutionary politics was that one day there would be a libertarian democracy and there'd be nothing after that. Put 50p in the meter, Tom. That's not even the screen's on now.
No, I'm listening to it. Just I'm trying to make my earpiece a bit louder. That's all.
Right. So, but basically, there you are.
What I found with that movie, Dan.
Yeah.
That's how I go.
No,
I was going to say, I think what you're describing to me is basically it's an interesting premise, but they deliver it in possibly the most boring way you possibly could.
There's my favourite bit of the film, there aren't really any favourite bits of the film. It just goes on and on and on, and it's boring and stupid and silly and it's just crap. But there's the bit where Costner's character and Bethlehem, the leader of the right wing, I don't know what you call militia, are having a sort of Shakespeare off. Right, they're just quoting non sequitur Shakespeare at each other for no real reason except to try and look clever. And this is a moment where, Costner's character is a wandering minstrel who performs Shakespeare with his mule, right, as a sidekick. And all he's got to do in this part of the film is play someone who can't act. And even that he doesn't nail it. And it's just this film won Razzies for Raspberries, the Razzies. It won Razzie for worst film, worst director, worst screenplay, worst actor, and worst soundtrack. And I had to go back and listen because I don't even remember there was a soundtrack. This film, it has the Bollywood green screen of the 1970s. It's an appalling film. And you think, how is this possible? And you realise that Kevin Costner's first movie wins, 7 Academy Awards, even gets nominated for Best Actor, which is just ridiculous. He's made Waterworld by this point, right? But somehow they've gone, well, he knows what he's doing. And not one person throughout that entire film has done the thing the film needs most and gone, Kevin, this seems like a little bit shit. Are we sure about this? Because it's just, there's nothing redeeming about that film at all.
It is Waterworld without the water.
I like Waterworld. I can't have the comparison because Waterworld, like, it's really funny. I was saying to my son, like, and he was like, well, what's Waterworld about? And I was like, basically the world is just water. He was like, well, how can that be a better film? I was like, it just is. It just is. There's nothing commendable about, I love a dystopian film, but what at its heart, the question he's asking, the myth of the question he's asking is, through a lie, we create a system, a state, and through a state, we all believe in. So there's something really interesting there. But it's the timing. He's making this film at a time where the idea of America collapsing into a dystopian future self because of a right-wing uprising by a salesman. And now you kind of go, a glimpse into a dark future Kevin Costner saw in 1997. But yeah, so I saw it, and it's comfortably one of the worst films I've ever seen. So thanks for that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. That's the thing. My comment on it would be, if I was on death row, this would be the film I'd watch every day. I'd watch this every day. I'd feel like I got a full day's worth out of a film, and I'd be whistling my way to the electric chair going, night all, just please take me.
I just found it a fascinating movie because I watched it and it's like, I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in it apart from the fact that I remember watching it.
And there are so many memorably bad things that happen in it. I mean, the point that Kevin Costner's making a living traveling from township to township, performing Shakespeare, not as a one-man band, but with a mule. And then I'm sorry, I've said this in the last couple of shows. If you haven't seen it yet, these are not spoilers, by the way, because you're not going to watch it. And if you do watch it, you won't mind. But they kill and eat his mule. And the acting in that, the drama, the pathos of his best friend being killed and eaten is like, that's it. That's about as much as Kevin Costner musters. And like I love Field of Dreams. I enjoyed Waterworld. I've enjoyed all of the things Kevin Costner's done more recently. But I don't know if you'd call him an actor, would you?
I find him quite fascinating because... Like, I wouldn't ever turn around and say he's a bad actor, but he is.
Yeah. Well, he's just had parts that don't really get the best out of him. This is a silly film. This is a silly film.
He doesn't seem to know. Like, Arnie is a master at picking films which makes the best use out of Arnie. Yeah. Yeah. Say what you will about Arnie, but when he dies, people are going to say he's great in this, great in this, great in this, because he turned around to a lot of films and said no. But to that, like Kindergarten Cop, he realised that he can do that. Yeah,
that's great stuff. Kindergarten Cop. It actually needs an Arnie in it because those kids and him, the juxtaposition is pretty. But Kevin Costner didn't just pick this, right? He read the book and he went, "I want to produce, direct, and star in this," and everyone was like.
He thought he was going to get an Oscar out of it.
Now, I still can't believe, in all seriousness, I can't believe he was nominated for Best Actor in Dances with Wolves, because that's Kevin Costner. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're giving him an Oscar for that, give him an Oscar for going to the shops with his missus. And this year's nominees are Kevin Costner for hiring a moped on holiday in Thailand, Kevin Costner for paying his dry cleaning bill, and Kevin. It's just. Listen, I don't dislike him at all. I like his films. I said I like Waterworld. I like The Untouchables. I thought Field of Dreams was a classic work. I'm not some sort of aficionado, but I was surprised at how bad this film was, because you think he's not some bum director, you know? Everybody thought when he made Dances with Wolves that it was going to be a disaster because he'd gone way over budget, way over time, and it was this vanity project. But this is what it is, isn't it? You get away with one vanity project, you get 7 Oscars, and everyone goes, just, he knows what he's doing. And it was telling to me that there were no good actors in Postman. Because I think if you'd had a good actor in there, he'd have gone, I need to talk to you about this dialogue. Like, people don't speak like this. It's just people talking in nonsense kind of aphorisms and statements of intent. You know, the world needs more post, all that kind of shit. And it's like everything about this film is beyond silly, and it lost a lot of money and was panned. And I don't remember it. I would have been going to the cinema in '97 when this came out. Don't remember it at all. I remember Titanic.
It existed, Dan, unless apart from the Simpsons joke where they had him do a director's commentary where the joke was he was really stood up by the movie apologising for making it, which made me think this has to be really bad for the Simpsons to say it's bad.
Yeah,
I had to see it.
And I'm finishing off a review of it because I do think there is an idea in here that's worth talking about. And I watched so many reviews after I watched it, and they all do the same thing. They all go, it's really silly, it's really stupid, it's really dumb. It's like, you don't need 1,500 reviews telling you that this film is silly. You watch the first 30 minutes, and let me tell you, if you do get through the first 30 minutes, it doesn't get any better. The first hour is kind of pointless, but the next 2 hours are more pointless. It's just silly. It's just a silly, silly film with no redeeming features whatsoever. But you do think, I do get what he's trying to do, and he's just doing it in the wrong period of time, and he's doing it with the wrong cast and the wrong script. The book is from quite a well-recognised sci-fi writer. I've never read any of his stuff, but he's done very well. But this doesn't appear in most of his list of, you know. I'm going to say hello to some people because we've got Hawkwind here. Hello, Hawkwind. How are you? Malt Licky Texas and Kermit's middle finger. Ribbit, ribbit, do love a movie. Hola, says Malt Licky Texas. And there he is. We is big arms, blue Savannah eyes, dipped in sherbet Herbert, Anthony Earth, Ernie Vader, Gert Lash. Hi, Dan and Tom. Good evening. Slagmeister General. Good evening, Slags and Slagettes. Great to see you, Sam. Malia, the Queen of Tea. Big up the Chuckle Brothers and the legends in the chat. To me. My fave bit was the ending. Yep. Kevin Costner got very much up his own bum in the early 90s after Dances with Wolves and got an absolute tosh like the Postman. It does feel like that. And it feels like this is somebody else's fault. You know, somebody else was going... Because, okay, I get he directed it. He didn't write it, but he directed it, he produced it, and he starred in it, which is never a really good idea. But who edited this? Because they had a day off. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was somebody who should have gone 177 minutes runtime. No, Kevin. Like a film, I don't have a rule about how long a film should be. If it's a good film, I want it to be all day, all night. But a film needs to be as long as it takes to tell that story. And this film is there for about 160 minutes too long because the story's pretty basic. He pretends to be a postman. He's not really a postman. America gets refounded. I think what was funny was I didn't see the very ending. I think the credits must have gone up not quite quickly enough for me. I was watching one of these reviews and it talked about the ending. I didn't even see the ending, so I had to go and watch it. And I just thought the ending's more stupid than the preceding 176 minutes. It's absurd. Like suddenly he's dead and the whole of the United States is back and everyone's wearing short sleeve shirts with ties and slacks, exactly like they would have done. You know, no redeeming features. Sam's put Waterworld. Lol. I like Waterworld. It is what it says on the packet, isn't it? A film clearly doesn't deliver. That could be the strapline. Very good. Nice one. That is a very good one. Evening, Rosie. Fandabby, Rosie. How are you? Are you all good? Kindergarten Cop's one of my favourite movies. Red Eye Gooner says Untouchables. JFK I like a lot. I mean, JFK got me into studying the Kennedy conspiracy. Of course, like most of these films, it is just purely made up. But Robin Hood, what's your thoughts on Robin Hood? Apart from the great soundtrack, obviously.
It's more of Alan Rickman's movie, though, isn't it? Really.
Fair.
He's in it to facilitate Alan Rickman being an excellent hammy villain.
His lips don't quite touch his teeth. That's the Rickman impression. I don't know what you mean. That's how you do it. So we've got Red Eye Gooner, Hey Malia, and also Rosie, and everyone up here, I'm sure. Kindergarten Cop remains one of my most favourite childhood movies of all time. It is just brilliant seeing. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's like. Do you think there's some scope to advance the Kindergarten Cop premise into a sort of blood sports thing where, You know, the kids are all armed with razors and knives, and he's got to fight his way through them. I think people would watch
They
that.
did. They called it Battle Royale, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, we're not like. I mean, just one Arnie and loads of toddlers. Just extend the idea. Who wins?
I mean,
how many toddlers are we going to have to
do that in hindsight?
You what?
I'm surprised they didn't do that in hindsight.
They might have done. Get out of here.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
He's funny as hell. In Twins, where he's singing in the shower, take out the papers and the trash. Just love it. So, oh look, this one, Dan. You look like you'd be in the Epstein files. Thank you so much. Great to have you here. I'm sorry I won't see you again. But where are we? Coles. Oh, sorry, Anthony. Question, Mr. Tom. I heard you did Spider Pig after you watched the Simpsons movie. Is this true?
Yes.
The Hatfields and the McCoys, isn't that Bonanza? Isn't that no? Hatfield and the McCoys. Where's that from? Is that a recent film? Because that's based on a TV series. I'm sure it is. Action replays. Hello, Lucky Sin. Good to see you. Looks to be entertainment. Rumour has it Kevin Costner was perfect for that role. Alan Rickman. There we go. So, okay. Now, I just never know what you're going to say when I ask you what you've watched this week.
Well, I've gone through a variety. Depends on what you class as a variety. But since I've last been here, I've actually watched 3 movies. Mm-hmm. Watched Crime 101.
Okay.
Which is it's basically Chris Hemsworth he's a criminal who steals jewels in heists, and he's being hunted by Mark Ruffalo, who is a grizzled cop who's basically past his prime kind of thing. And Halle Berry plays an insurance agent who obviously crosses paths with both of them. I thought it was fine.
I was going to say, let me guess, because it's treading a well-worn path, isn't it? The heist movie, the lovable. I mean, it seems to be one of those things you're allowed to be a jewel thief and still be a nice guy. You know, it's a victimless crime, isn't it? Because
that's very much how it's portrayed. Because without he doesn't kill anyone. Like, no, exactly. His heists are done in such a way where basically, because there's another kind of villain in the movie, played by Barry. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Barry Keoghan or Keoghan, whatever it is.
Right.
The one who did the movie where he ends up naked at the end. He stands there in the mansion. I forget what it's called.
Oh, I know the one you mean. The weird horror film.
Yeah.
Where he's the baddie all along, and that's the.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alert. I've totally forgotten what it's called as well. Someone in the chat will know. Yeah. I don't know how Irish names. There's no point trying. You know, what are you supposed to
basically, do? His character does heists on a much more small time scale, but far more violent. So basically, It's very much a washing. It's like, this could Saltburn. Thank you, Collistan.
Saltburn. There you go. Yeah. Well done. Who was that? Who got that? Oh, Collis, gentleman's preference. I imagine Collis could be a Raffles gentleman thief. You know, taking a string of pearls from a.
Like, look at what your future could have been when you look at basically. Keoghan.
Is it Keoghan?
I don't know.
Keoghan, who knows?
But basically, he does the heists in a more violent way than Chris Hemsworth. So basically, you're kind of
young people. You see, no finesse.
Yeah,
that's like
it's good. Like, you're watching a movie that's good, but at the same time, it's not a movie that I'm going to remember in a year's time and go,
That's one of the things I could say about The Postman. Because I will remember that film. I think you even said that last time we were talking about it. It's like, it's bad, but you'll remember it. And we talked about, like, there are films where... So, to follow up, yesterday I did a double bill. I started with The Postman, and after 3 hours of that, I still had enough energy to watch Prometheus. and I got all the way through Prometheus and realised, oh yeah, I have seen this before. It's like somebody showing you their holiday snaps gone wrong. You know, it's just like, yeah, whatever. All right, lovely. Don't care about any of these characters. Don't know any of the people in it. Shit goes wrong, and oh well. You know, no likable characters whatsoever. I need a good film. And at the end of this show, can someone in the chat or Tom just recommend something that you know I'm going to enjoy? Otherwise, I will
My issue
go.
with Prometheus is that no matter how you slice it, no matter how much potential you can put behind it, it's essentially an Alien prequel.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny because the missus is watching, because I remember that. It's like the Alien films, and I was like, hang on a minute. It's like, you know, we've talked about in the past when you make a Bond film. You can't enjoy a Bond film if somebody doesn't show him how to use a gadget, right? You can. I don't care how good the film is and how much pathos and drama and suspense. I need a gadget scene, otherwise it's not a Bond film. And it felt like, at this point, Ridley's just getting like that. Right, well, we'll need an android with his head off. That's on the tick box. And we're going to need to see the alien, and the mouth is going to extend from the mouth. And it's like, yeah, and there's going to be eggs. And, you know, the whole thing is just... it's almost a meme now. It's like, you know, there's a life form and it's chasing you, and we've got it on a radar thing, and it just, none of the characters are likable. It's cinematically stunning in 2012, but by 2020, you know, now it's like, I don't really care I don't need an origin story either. I really just don't. So I have to say it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy Prometheus. I didn't enjoy The Postman. Maybe I don't like films.
I thought you was going to say that after I watched The Postman, I went and watched Waterworld. But like, how do you think yourself?
I might, because I like Waterworld. It's got action bits and suspense where he's trying to get away from people. I mean, the closest they get in The Postman is he's riding away on one horse, and they're riding after him on another horse, and for some reason he's always just ahead of them. No one's shooting at him or anything. I mean, the whole thing is just absurdly bad. You know, it's an absurdly bad... There's a brilliant scene where then Tom Petty turns up. Tom Petty's just, and he's like, do I know you? And you just want him to go, yeah, I'm Tom Petty, you mug. What do you mean, do you know me? I used to be somebody. 7 years of apocalypse. I'm still fucking Tom Petty. Listen to this and get a song going. No, Tom Petty doesn't actually say I'm Tom Petty. He just goes, yeah, I used to be kind of famous. But, you know, obviously by now Kevin Costner is actually the Postman. And I love the fact he never has a name either. And even the statue at the end, they just put the Postman. Fucking nonsense. It's pronounced like Keown. Okay. A new movie called Mercy Lucky. Where am I getting to here? They are well and driving me crazy as per usual. Have you seen What You Wish For? I haven't. Have you?
I don't believe I have. I did watch Glenn Ross last week.
And?
My thing with that movie is it's more a movie for actors than for me.
Right. Okay. How do you mean that? Do you mean because it's there's a line, I can't remember if it's The Simpsons or Family Guy, but it's my favourite thing to say about any film, right? It's because it rather insists upon itself. I don't know what it means, but I kind of get that sentiment. And do you mean that Glenn Ross rather insists upon itself?
I suppose it does. Like, what I'm watching I like the dialogue. It feels like a realistic dialogue. Like, that's not my issue with it. I don't really have an issue with it. It's the sort of thing I enjoyed it. I watched because, like you told me before, it's a play, so it's based on a play. It's a very self-contained thing. Like, I suppose it's in a way about watching an industry that I'm not really. You don't really get many films about real estate agents. Really, generally, they're probably not.
No, yeah.
So in that way, it's interesting, and obviously Al Pacino playing anything is automatically going to get my attention.
Yeah, and he's good in it as well. Yeah.
But my favourite part of it is basically, I'll say Jack Lemmon, because I was about to call him Gil Grissom because.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you said, but that is the part that I think creates him. I think that Jack Lemmon part is the foundation of that, because it's that whole kind of pathetic, just, you know, like, And the reaction between Kevin Spacey when in the film Jack Lemmon thinks he sold 5 parcels of land for quite a big amount of money and he's going to be top salesman again like he was 20 years ago, you know. And Kevin Spacey goes, didn't you see how they lived? You know, like Jack Lemmon's, I held that pen in front of him for 20 minutes. I watched on the clock and, you know, he goes, they just like spending time with salespeople. You know, of course they're not going to buy 5 parcels of land. Did you see how they lived? And it's so devastating and so raw and so horrible. But you're right. It's a tour de force of acting. You get that many actors: Ed Harris, Al Pacino, Kevin Spacey, Jack Lemmon, and William Baldwin. Alec Baldwin or William Baldwin? I've forgotten which Baldwin brother it is now.
It's Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, the good Baldwin, the murdery Baldwin, murder Baldwin. But homicide Baldwin. So awful thing to say. I'm sorry. I know he watches this, and I take it back. You didn't know it was loaded. But the great scenes in it are all. It feels a little bit like they're competing with each other. Is that what you mean?
Yes, it's very much like they're acting. I feel like certain actors are in that film to act with Al Pacino. Like, it doesn't actually matter what the material is, because they're basically like, I want to do a scene with Al Pacino, and this is my chance to do a scene with Al Pacino.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And he does steal the show for me. He does absolutely. And Tony Roma his part is essentially, the way I look at it is, it's a fantastic play. It's David Mamet is a legendary writer, absolutely outstanding. But what for me, because that's world I worked in, not maybe selling what they are, but it's the same, you know, AIDA, attention, interest, decision, action, A, always B, C, closing. That's who I am, you know, all of that shit. I've lived a very little version of that, you know, like I've met so many people who think they're Alec Baldwin, but, you know, and the way I see it is each one of those salespeople is the same person, but in a different phase of their career. So Tony Roma just happens to be everything's going, and when you're in that mode and everything's going for you, you do feel like you piss wine. It's just one of those, and the reality is that no, you're just talking shit, and people are buying shit, and your confidence makes them buy it, and then you end up like Jack Lemmon going, but please buy it, sir. Oh, never mind. It's that as a brilliant film, but it does always make me laugh because Dominic, when we watched it together, she said, "How can you like that? The characters are horrible." And I was like, no, but that's the point. I mean, that's like saying, oh, Schindler's List, well, I didn't like any of the Germans. It's like, yeah, all right, that's true, you know. So Red Eye's put here, Waterworld is a great movie. It just got shit on by fossil fuel companies in its release for obvious reasons. I like it. I don't know if I call it a great movie.
My thing with Waterworld is that when I was growing up and like everyone talked about Waterworld, it was because it was known as the massive flop, because they spent, for the time, they spent loads of money on it. But I presume that by now it's probably made its money back in basically on TV, DVD and stuff like that. Yeah,
no, I was reading about it because it did come up in conversation. I read about it, and it has basically, it's not the flop it was. The Postman is still down, you know, so anything we can do to help Kevin Costner, I'm sure he needs a penny. But then I was looking at films that came out around the same time, and obviously in '97 you had Titanic, and then you look at the amount they spent on that, but obviously it made its money many times over. But yeah, Waterworld is probably broken even now because of different releases and things. You know, not that I have a great deal of sympathy with with movie producers that lose money. I'm like, you know, it is. You do all earn seemingly very good money. Game of Thrones spin-offs are fantastic. I'm loving the latest installment. I want to see that. I really love Game of Thrones, but I have to stick with. I have to stick with it. I tend to find if I don't like something the first episode, it takes me ages to watch it. Man on Fire. Have you seen that? I haven't seen that. Denzel Washington. That's
the one where he plays a bodyguard, isn't it? Is it a little girl? Like, I think it's one of the Fanning girls. And one of them gets kidnapped, and then obviously Zell has to go to find her by any means necessary.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. This is exactly what it is. Action film, directed and produced by Tony Scott with a screenplay. CIA officer who takes a bodyguard job protecting a young girl in Mexico City. World is a dark and dangerous place unless you have Denzel protecting you. How do you feel about? Listen. I think it's a bit of an unfair question, really, because I think Denzel's done so many good films, and he's Denzel, right? What do you think of his acting, though?
My thing with Zell is that he's good enough. He can elevate an average film. For example, Training Day, average film. He, as Alonzo Harris, is fan-fucking-tastic. I just think he elevated an average film. He did for Training Day what Al Pacino did for Scarface.
Yeah, that's really fair. Yes, absolutely quality. I wish he did more of that, this acting stuff, because I might be being unkind, but Equalizer's isn't that just Denzel Washington? I don't, it's just.
I enjoyed the Equalizer. I enjoyed Denzel doing what did they call it, like dad movies, where basically Liam Neeson made a whole cottage industry where he's just give him a name where he's Brian something and he goes around killing Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, shame, remorselessly. These people are trained killers. I think I've watched 2 Equalizer movies, and I'm not sure I have it in me to do another one soon. But I like it. It's a world we need films like that, because in the world we all feel like I wish there was. It's like when people talk about Karens and you go, yeah, but you want one in your street. Do you know what I mean? Because when the kids are playing out and they're being really loud, you don't want to be the Karen, but you want someone to go, get back in your house. We all want there to be an equalizer. We want someone to go and take on the mafia in Napoli and, beat them all up and be able to see 10 moves ahead. Obviously, there aren't those people, and if there were, they'd be the problem to start with. But I like Equalizer. I like Jack Reacher. Right, there is something about me that is very. I mean, we've talked about the Beekeeper and things like that. I draw the line at those, but I almost watched the Meg as well. I keep nearly watching the Meg.
I watched the Meg too.
I don't know how you do it. I think that's commitment. I just don't know how you do it.
I leave my brain at the door, and I just like.
You just have to. Because you're seeing these films in the cinema often, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can't have your phone out, really, can you?
No, the only time I actually had my phone out would when I'd be jotting down what the trailers were. But generally speaking, it's the one time a week where basically my phone goes in my pocket.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I mean. So, but if I was watching one of those films, I would want to be checking my emails and stuff at the same time. I found myself doing that with a Postman, because I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty obvious what happens here.
If I'm watching a film on DVD, not on DVD, because I like for example, Good Will Hunting, or what was the one with Robert Sean Leonard and Robin Williams, where he played a boarding school teacher?
Where he played a what?
It's like a boarding school.
Oh yeah. Dead Poets Society.
Dead Poets Society. Sorry.
Yeah.
When I was watching that, I was looking through my phone and stuff, which is probably not how it's meant to be experienced.
No, I love Dead Poets Society. I think I thought you said a boarding school teacher. I was like, what?
Oh no, as in boarding.
Yeah, no. I love Dead Poets Society. It gets a tear out of me, but it is. It's another one of those. It's a typical it's what we now think of as a typical Robin Williams film, but there's kind of the tugging at the heartstrings and
good film.
Yeah, I can't really fault it. I loved it. I may watch Dreadful.
If I was watching it in the cinema, I'd have give it 100% attention, but because I was watching it in my house, I was checking my phone or whatever.
I think I watched Gladiator 2 like that, and that saved it for me. Because if you put me in a cinema watching that, I would probably have torn up some seats and thrown them at the screen. It's just some films just get right on my. Right, so where are we? I wanted to watch Crime 101, but the weirdo Mark Ruffalo is in it, and I'm boycotting his ass. Why are you boycotting Mark Ruffalo? Have I missed something? I like him. I really like him. Did hear Salman Khan, famous Bollywood actor, crashed his car? No, I didn't. I don't know much about Bollywood. What was the question about Glengarry? Oh, here we go. Glengarry Glen Ross is really legendary Broadway play that didn't translate to the screen as well as people thought. I thought it did. I thought it was brilliant. I don't think there are enough plays. I think 12 Angry Men, things like that really work on cinema. I don't think you always have to have effects or things like that. But Alec Baldwin, I think Pacino, Baldwin, Lemon, and Spacey. I thought Kevin Spacey was brilliant in it. But
Because wasn't apparently Pacino, if he didn't take the role, it was going to be Alec Baldwin playing Ricky Roma or whatever his name is.
I heard a slightly different version. I heard that Alec Baldwin couldn't because he was already committed to a project, but he could give them enough time to do. So they wrote that monologue for him. It's not in the original play. I think they've added it to the play since, because I've seen it in the play since. But you wouldn't want to leave it out. It's one of the best bits. Put that coffee down. God, how many times I've used that. Al Pacino was convincingly obnoxious and loutish in Scent of a Woman. That's another film where, like if you were putting together the top films where movie monologues where someone gets to speak, at the end of Scent of a Woman is absolutely brilliant.
I can't help but think of Al Pacino, in Devil's Advocate, when he's sitting there going, "Liar, liar, your pants are on fire," sort of thing.
I can't okay, so let's know in the comments, is that a good film? Because I kind of, I want to say it is actually, but it isn't.
I think it's good, but again, it's elevated by him.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. If you recast that film with Robert De Niro as say, that would be funnily bad. That would, you're absolutely right. That's a Pacino film. I will watch a Pacino film, and I don't remember the last time I hated one. Maybe we talked about it, didn't we? The De Niro, Al Pacino latest one.
It immediately left my head. Righteous Kill, was it?
That's exactly it, and I don't know how you remembered that because I've already put that well out of my brain. But yes, you're absolutely right. One of the worst adaptations to a book was American Assassin. The book's by Vince Flynn, amazing, but the film was god-awful. I haven't seen that. I might give that... See, I'm here now. Recommend a film and I'll watch it. That's what I'm doing. I've been toying with this idea. I don't know. Watching the two films yesterday, I thought maybe you could do this. Maybe you could have a day where you watch 3 and another day you watch 3 and then 1 during the week. But I was like, I don't know how you watch a film a day.
My record of a cinema day is 5 movies.
That's incredible.
5
that's
in
incredible.
1 day.
So that's a comfortable 14 hours with gaps in between.
I believe it was about 11 hours the way it works out. I can tell you the 5 movies in order was.
Did you see them all in the same cinema? Obviously, you didn't.
In the same cinema, so it would have been the one I go to now. So it would be the O2 Arena in London. Yeah. I saw Frozen 2, then Knives Out. Then I went.
Oh, is that really silly? You saw this quite recently, then, didn't you?
This was in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So
is Knives Out the one I'm thinking about, the silly detective one?
Daniel Craig plays Benoit Blanc.
With the accent.
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. Daniel Craig. Stop
then
it.
I watched, I think the third movie was a movie called Blue Story, which is basically like inner city crime, not crime, sorry. I don't know, what's the least racist way to describe it? Inner city gang culture movie.
Right, yeah.
It was all right.
East Coast or West Coast? Not that I really...
But in London, in England.
Oh, in London? Oh, fucking hell, there's some terrible gangster movies in London. It keeps popping up on my feed, Rise of the Foot Soldier, a bloke with a stupid wig on, playing... I never remember his name, but he's a Cockney hard man, it's like wearing the most ridiculous wig you've ever seen in your life.
Are you thinking of Craig Fairbrass, who used to be in EastEnders? He's
in them, yeah, but that's not what I'm thinking of. It's a guy who writes them. He always plays the same guy, and it's just a silly film. I've started watching it twice. It's The Real Gangs of London or something, and it's like, can we just admit, if you want a gangster film, you're going to America? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that, like there's gangsters everywhere in the world, but the ones that make good movies are all in the States. Right. So Anthony's put 1 hour photo. I think it was called, the other one with Robin Williams. That is possibly his best acting.
He's great in that because he's incredibly good at being sad and creepy. He's very unsettling.
Unbelievably good at being sad and creepy. Just very watchably sad and creepy.
the fourth movie I watched was one called 21 Bridges with, I believe it was Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther.
Yeah.
He did basically like he's fighting corruption within the police force, and they had to close 21 of the bridges around. I can't remember what city it was in, but it wasn't bad. But I only really remember it because of the fact it's part of this 5 in a day thing.
Yeah. Okay, what was the last one then?
Last Christmas, it was Emilia Clarke. It was the George Michael movie. Obviously, he's not in it, but his music is in it.
I've
Emma
never
Thompson playing a Ukrainian refugee.
Emma Thompson's playing a Ukrainian.
Yeah, she played her mum.
Huh? What?
Emma Thompson played Emilia Clarke's mum.
Oh, I thought you.
Emilia
Right.
Clarke
Okay.
is very English in it, like her accent, well spoken, but her mother is pretty much fresh off the boat, kind of.
Right.
Kind of like
Ukrainian families. Dun, 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 dun. Al Pacino's greatest performance has to be Michael Corleone in The Godfather Part 2. No, not for me. Not for me. I like him in it. It's one of my favourite films, of course. I think there is just something about gangster films that I'm always going to love.
I think his best performance is Tony Montana. But again, the movie is bang average, but he elevates it.
Yeah. There's a few that stand out. I think, honestly, when I think of him as a great actor, I think of either, like, I agree with you. I think Scarface, the only thing that is watchable about that film is him as Tony Montana. But then there's also, oh God, why do I always forget the name of this one where he goes, Carlos Brigante.
Oh, Carlito's Way.
Carlito. Yeah, I love him in that. I absolutely love him. Last of the Mohicans. I love him in that film. Because he doesn't feel like Al Pacino. You know, that's what, you know, I've said this on the show before. I think he just feels like he's always suits the role rather than they've just let's get Al Pacino to play basically Al Pacino, which is what they do with De Niro. I think I could manage 5 movies in a month. Yeah. I get bored with the film True Lies with Arnie. How many times ITV showed it? Yeah, they did. That's true. They did go absolutely mental showing that one. I've not heard.
ITV2 plays more than True Lies. Sister Act 2.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
If you haven't seen it, you'd like to see it, just turn on ITV2 and they'll play it at some point.
Claire, this, you know, when you were saying about Craig Fairbrass, I haven't seen Cliffhanger, but it popped up on my YouTube feed. It was the bit at the end where he says, I used to play football, and he tries to kick him off a mountain, and you just think, like, I don't know if that's ever happened to me.
Qualify you for the acts you're about to do.
Yeah, well, yeah. And also just don't, with the spiel, just push him off the cliff, or don't push him off, because you know what's coming when you're kicking a bloke about and you're fucking about on top of a cliff like that. Just have a bit of health and safety in that movie. Where's the health and safety? But Cliffhanger was good. Okay, so should I watch Cliffhanger? Because I have to say that part of the film, that trailer, if you want, like the YouTube Shorts pop up.
Oh, you should watch it. There's one particular scene in it which is really well done. It's when they do a heist in midair. Obviously, they're going to end up in a situation where obviously they need to navigate through the cliff. But to actually do the initial heist, they actually go from a plane to another plane, and that itself is actually quite well done.
I don't know. I mean, it feels like that can't be enough to make me watch the film. I mean, that scene where he's kicking
the postman.
Right. So can I have a good one this week? Can we get a really good recommend? I'm due a good one now, no? I mean, like, I did watch The Postman. And it's funny, I told you, I bought it on YouTube, which seemed the quickest way to get it. And luckily, I was almost starting it at like 1 o'clock in the morning, not long after buying it. And I thought, hang on, 3 hours? Oh, I'm not watching this till 4 in the morning. I'll fall asleep. So I didn't. So I literally, and then I started worrying, oh God, when you start it, you've got 48 hours to watch it. just basically because YouTube are bastards. That there's no reason for that to be the case. You know, they should just be like, once you've watched it, you've watched it, or you've got it for a month or whatever. But look, they're getting so many. John Lithgow as a villain is good enough reason. Okay,
He's very good as the villain.
I think I've seen a clip of him as the villain at the end where somebody he sends gives up and decides he doesn't want to go through with it. And I think I know how it ends, which is, again, you know, it's my fault for not having watched it sooner. So Cliffhanger is on the list. Watch this.
I'll tell you the other movie I watched it yesterday, is, and I was pleasantly surprised because I did not have high hopes for it. I watched a movie called The Housemaid.
Right, how have you? I've never heard of these films. Housemaid.
It's a movie starring Amanda Seyfried, Sydney Sweeney, and
is Sydney Sweeney the person I'm supposed to have heard of that does singing?
She, if I remember rightly, she's mainly an actress, but she's also a model that models jeans. But because of political alignment, she's basically perceived to be a right-wing think piece.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know if she actually is or not, but that's the perception online.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Yeah. Okay. All right. But what's she been in? She's been in something I've seen. Anyone but Immaculate Christie? Or maybe not.
She was in Madame Web.
I saw that. I didn't see it. I mean, I saw the trailer for it.
I saw it and I wished I hadn't.
It didn't capture me. I feel like I'm probably the worst person to do a movie show with, but I'm starting to feel like I don't really enjoy any films anymore. But then I did just watch The Postman and Prometheus in a row, so maybe it's time to do a Q film now.
Not to diminish anyone's enthusiasm, to be fair.
It is though, isn't it? Because you think, there was a spate of really good films. It's like, I don't know if this happens to everyone else, but I find if I read a really good book, I want to read another book straight away. And then I read another really good book, and I'm like, I would love reading books. Then I read one shit one, and it takes me like a month, and I just don't want to read ever again. And I feel like Prometheus might have done that to me, because I resented watching it the first time, but to find out I've now watched it twice, it's joined a very short list of films that I've watched twice and only realised at the very end that I've watched it. And I was like, I know I saw Prometheus. I was like 2012, I would have seen it, and Fassbender's great in it. But he plays an android and he's very wooden, and everyone else is playing humans and are less wooden than him. Oh, I saw more wooden than him, and it's just I don't get it. Ridley Scott made a. Red Eye Guna says, "Have any of you guys seen a Scandinavian film called Iceman? I really like that one. It's based on the Otzi and the 3,000-year-old man they found in thin ice. Well, he's Austrian, Otzi. I love the fact Italians and Austrians argue over whether this man who existed 10,000 years before either of those two countries existed, but he was found in the Alps between. But he had apparently, they could tell he'd been murdered because he had all these injuries. So I'd give that a look. What's that? Have you ever seen that? That reminded me. I don't watch a lot of Scandinavian movies, but it did remind me of the one where the Norwegian guy kills an entire German brigade. I mean, like a tank division on his own. Have you seen that one?
Probably not, because I tend not to watch war films. So
yeah, it is a kind of it's well. Oh, Sam, if you're still here, you know the film I mean. It's surprisingly enjoyable. It's ridiculous. Like, he's totally unkillable. They can't kill him. He's like a.
Is it Sisu?
That's the one. Yeah.
There's a sequel that came out recently.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, no one makes a film like that and then doesn't go cashing in. Is he? Maybe it's not Norwegian. Maybe he's Finnish. Is that why I'm getting it wrong? Sisu, yeah. Red Eye Gunners put it.
Yeah, off the top of my head, it does sound like it's Finnish. But I don't know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, of course it's Finnish. How dare you not know that?
I liked it, but it's a comic. You know, like we've talked about in the past, films that make you feel like they're still true to the comic book format. And this one is. It's like a comic in movie form. I really liked it. So we've got a couple of people saying, so Red Eye saying, watch the movie Iceman. It's on the list then. Go on then. It's got to be better than Cliffhanger, hasn't it?
I still think around Christmas you should watch Santa with Muscles. It's incredible.
Santa
And
with
by
muscles.
incredible, I mean if I have to watch it, everyone else on Earth should at least see it.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Lord of the Rings too. I was like, yeah, everyone should watch that film because there's no way I'm going through that alone. CISO, yeah, it was exactly that. Iceman, not explicitly Scandinavian. It's a German, Italian, Austrian adventure film. Well, and then that's definitely getting watched. German, I think it's probably, yeah, I'm definitely watching Iceman, but I know how it ends. So he doesn't make it, does he? He doesn't make it to modern times.
What I will say in defence of the movie The Housemaid, because I had no my only preconceived notion about it was that I was going to hate it.
Right.
But I went into it not knowing the plot because I purposely avoided it. I didn't even really watch the trailers because I didn't want to have a preconceived notion of what the movie is. And I watched it, and in the first 10 minutes, something happened where I was like, I don't know what I actually thought this movie was going to be, but it wasn't that. And then
I like that. That's great when that happens. So I'm looking at it now. It's I do like a psychological thriller, but I have to be in the right mood. I don't know if I'd watch one in the cinema. I think
to be fair though, and I'll defend the movie on this. I sound like I'm its biggest fat cheerleader, but the fact of the matter is, I watched the movie on February the 18th, and it's been out since December 26th, I think, in the UK. So it's been out practically 2 months, and there were still people in that cinema. I wasn't by myself.
Mad.
You know what I mean?
A lot of that. I mean, I don't know what it would. I'd have to see the trailer because I can't see anything from it. I mean, apart from the Sydney Sweeney and Amanda, what's her name, Seyfried, that look lovely, but I think I'm a bit past watching films just because I'd probably give it a go. What would you give it? And if it'd been one of your 365 films, what score are you giving it?
I would have given it a very I think it's like 7, bordering 8 out of 10. More out of the surprise that I didn't think it would be good, and it's not shit.
That seems really good, to be fair. I mean, I'll watch anything as a 7 out of 10, absolutely. So Iceman has stunning, brutal alpine cinematography, which, to be fair, is exactly my cup of tea, so that's commends it. Iceman looks like I have to watch that one. One day there'll be a movie about this zombie game I'm playing. I bet good money on it. We kind of seen the end of the zombie era now, haven't we? I think the zombies have all been done. Although, I wanted to ask you, actually, this reminds me, have you seen Cockneys versus Zombies?
Yes, I watched it at the cinema in 2012.
Right. Fucking hell. I can't wait to see that.
I saw it at Stratford Picture House in 2012.
Now, is it everything I'm hoping for?
Yes.
Nothing
happened in that movie which I did not hope would happen. I will say that.
I've seen clips and gone, all right, it looks like a bit of me, that does. Come here, you zombie.
Well, it's basically got Alan Ford doing...
yeah, of course it's got Alan Ford. Can't, yeah, as opposed to Alan Ford doing like Shakespeare. Could you imagine? To be or not to fucking be.
Well, apparently it came out in August 2012. So yeah, definitely.
I know. I saw clips of it a couple of years back. It's one of those ones. I'd watch that, and then I forgot all about it, and then I saw a clip for it in the last couple of weeks. So it's a scene where the zombies are moving really slowly. He goes, of course they're fucking moving slowly. They're zombies. No, you've got to shoot them in the head. How do you know? Well, everyone knows that. It's kind of, I love it when they subvert the form. I love all that. Boy, Teddy, I hate to disappoint you. Has Dan had the bacon and banana pizza? No, it didn't feel right to do Club Tropic Arsenal yesterday because, as we all know, Arsenal is a meltdown. Everybody's throwing toys out of prams and everything. So I'm probably going to have to put that off until possibly if I start early enough on Sunday. But it's this fasting regime. I honestly can't wait to try the banana bacon pizza. It sounds absolutely delightful. But I will do. I promise you I am going to try it. Last Z zombie... didn't they make it? Well, they've made the Z films anyway, haven't they? They might do. Wow, disappointing he dodged it. I haven't dodged it. I haven't had it yet. I see your game.
I see your game.
It's not like you're getting commission. I am eating the damn thing. I fasted all day yesterday, so I couldn't have eaten it even if I wanted to. But what I might do, just for you, is I might film myself eating it and then put it on the show on Sunday night. But waiting till 10:30 at night to eat something that's probably going to give me the fear. Don't even think it's a food problem. I think it's just I'll just have that kind of stay up all night having bad dreams about bananas on pizza. Okay, so in terms of I've written down Iceman and Cliffhanger that I have to watch. Cockney versus Zombies. It's what we'd expect it to be. That banana on pizza.
It will subvert from what you. Basically, if you write down bullet points on what you'd hope to be in Zombies versus Cockneys, or I did it wrong way round. But again, if you didn't get that, you'd be upset, like you were saying earlier about Bond.
If there's no Alan Ford in it, it's already not a Cockney film anyway. You know, if he's not doing that shoulder shuffling tough guy thing. I did mention this, but Armando Iannucci, have you seen that? Where I know I mentioned it before, where he hires Bricktop to come around and shout at his washing machine to get it working again.
I've got didn't he do a film called The Thick of It?
Yeah, Armando Iannucci. Well, he did the series. Was The Thick of It, and
sorry, he did a film based on that called The Loop or On the Loop.
That's it. In the Loop. I've totally forgotten what it's called. It's got James Gandolfini in it, and it's set in America, and it's brilliant. It is just The Thick of It's got Malcolm Tucker, who is one of my favourite creations at all. Like someone calls him a bully in the film, he goes, "Don't you ever call me a bully? I'm so much worse than that." It's really good. A really good friend of mine who swears like a trooper, and he always has a problem with him. I was like, Malcolm, how can you like him? He's horrible. I was like, I like him because he's basically says and does whatever he wants to. He calls someone an omnitard, which I think is still one of my favourite things to call someone. You omnitard. Wasn't bacon, banana, and peanut butter the favourite sandwich of Elvis Presley? Red Eye Unit? Yes, it was. It's got a name, isn't it? It's called the Golden something, not Shower. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud, Dan. Oh, you've done it now. No, it's called. It has a name, and I can't bring myself to do that. There is just a point at which you go, don't let children design menus. Come on, man. Elvis. Kung Fu Hustle. Can I come out of a bit of a? I know everyone loves Kung Fu Hustle. I kind of find it boring.
I'm sure I have seen it. I'm trying to double check if it was part of my project.
Yeah. I mean, like it's great. Listen, it's cinematically lovely. I do like a Kung Fu film, Ip Man and some of those ones. But I like the old Bruce Lee films. I don't really, yeah. I wouldn't say it was my favourite genre either. Landlord, whatever ailment you get from eating banana on pizza, I hope there's a cure for it. It's bound to be.
Have you ever watched a movie called The Raid or The Raid 2, its sequel?
No.
They're very good.
The Raid.
It's basically like a crack commando unit in Indonesia. They enter an apartment block to make an arrest of a drug lord. But basically, the drug lord basically tells the people that live there, basically, if you kill these people, I'll give you loads of money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting. There's some great martial arts scenes in it and things like that. But it's good. The sequel's arguably even better, but it's less confined to the building.
That's true of Ip Man as well. I thought Ip Man 2 was better than Ip Man. But they are it's like basically watching dance, isn't it? It's strictly now I think I've just invented a brand new BBC One Saturday night special series. Strictly Kung Fu. There you go. Hear me out. Every week a new celebrity gets brought in and they get a week to train and they get to fight a martial arts expert in a cage with weapons.
But when you say a martial arts expert,
I mean like a lethal killing machine.
Real proper celebrity version, you'd kind of get off the top of my head. You'd have you'd get Tony Adams to fight Stitches for goal.
No, I want to do a remake of Cliffhanger with Tony Adams on a cliff kicking. I played for the Arsenal. Just sticks his hand up for the offside trap. No. I think I've come up with the new format for BBC. Someone will nick this now because I haven't been careful enough about it. If you're watching evil BBC exec, cocaine addicted producer of BBC Schlop, then yeah, you can have this one. Strictly kung fu. Every week, Amanda Holden getting her head literally kicked clean off by Chuck Norris. Who wouldn't want to watch that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
you had to get Chuck Norris. And I didn't know you'd already threatened to have Amanda Holden's head kicked off.
yeah,
I've got Chuck Norris do many things.
yeah. I love that because you were thinking, all right, Amanda Holden's head kicked off, but it better be the right person, or I'm not watching that. And it's like you'd watch it, It'd be after the watershed, I think, 7 o'clock. Good night, Rosie. Thanks for being here. Have a fantastic one. Hopefully see you Sunday night. I didn't consider Kung Fu Hustle a martial arts film. It was more of a slapstick comedy. That's fair. Yeah, it's not really in the old model of a... It's definitely not an old-fashioned martial arts flick. But it just felt a little bit over-choreographed. I don't know. I think everyone else liked it, so I'm happy I'm wrong. 18 Bronze Men is my all-time favourite Kung Fu flick. See, I think this is it. I think I don't know. I remember watching Kung Fu films with my mate Elliot, and we would watch them. And there was just one that we always used to do, which was a Bruce Lee one, but it was when he was in Hong Kong before that, and they were dubbed into English, so it wasn't him speaking English. And I just always remember the line, "What are you dogs doing round here?" Ha ha ha. And it's just like, yeah, it's all that. Yes. Why that not? And I loved it.
I like the maps are like they're doing these really long, elongated sentences, and then the audio is like, yes.
Famously parodied by Wayne's World when he starts speaking in Cantonese or with Rob Lowe's character. That's a great film. I don't own one gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate a gun rack. It's just Psycho Hose Beast. What about Kung Pao? Another great comedy. Haven't seen it. Isn't Kung Pao a food anyway? Am I losing it? Kung Pao? Am I getting drawn into displaying my ignorance?
It's a variety of chicken, isn't it?
I think so. General Tso's chicken. Kenny Rogers Chicken, which was his. This is a true story. He had a chain of restaurants called Kenny Rogers Chicken.
Yeah, I typed in Kung Pao and it's immediately like all I filled is Kung Pao chicken.
Enter the fist. Oh dear. Oh, is there a Carry On Kung Fu? Could we do something like that? Could we bring back something really? Because I mean, King Pao is the way of the fist. Yeah, Kung Pao. Enter the Fist. 2002 martial arts comedy film that parodies Hong Kong action. Well, I'd watch that. Yes, that's a good shout. Kung Pao's getting watched. Do you know what I want? I just want a silly film. Tom, anyone in the chat? I just want a film where you go, yeah, that was good. Do you know what I mean? Just a silly, nothing too serious. There's a lot of very serious films. There's R.I.P. or RIP or whatever it is, where Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, I think it is.
Thinking of a Kung Fu film, I don't think they'd actually make this, but they should, because obviously you'd upset a lot of people, but they should make a film called Kill Bill Clinton.
I don't know how many people you'd upset, actually. I don't think you would upset. Kill Bill Clinton.
I know one that I wouldn't upset, because Mr. Lewinsky would have some things
I'm not even sure Hillary would be that upset, to be honest with you. It's like, he's a dickhead.
The crocodile tears, I imagine, would flow.
Yeah. I quite like that idea. Because he's a bit of a doddery old man now, though. So would it really... I don't know, maybe that makes it even better. I don't know, maybe it's just...
It's not ideally kind of floated, but I'm not sure it'd get picked up.
I think I'm not sure it'd get picked up either, but in a way, it's like that Being John Malkovich film, where it's surreal enough that you could have it so that Bill Clinton, there's a sequence where, right at the beginning, where he's killed by somebody, and it's a really bloody, gory death, with lots of agony, and then he wakes up in his bed and he thinks it's been a dream, but every day he goes through the same hell and a different celebrity kills him. So every time he meets a celebrity, he's like, oh, here we go. He's like Samuel L. Jackson, here we go. Kill Bill Clinton episode. Oh, just shoot me now. Do we have to do the speech? I got got a speech ready. Yeah, everyone always has. Just shoot me in it. Look, I'll do it. Bang. And he can't kill himself. That's the other thing. I've gotten too into that. I've run with your idea too much there. Kung Pao is a great parody of old martial arts movie, silly and well worth a watch, cult classic. I'll give that. It's 20 years old, 25 years old. I can't believe I've never heard of it. Kung Pao apparently is basically Carry On Kung Fu. Well, then sold. Lol, Tom. The best silly film is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I would always put Life of Brian above the Holy Grail. I think Life of Brian is arguably the funniest film ever made.
I've never seen it.
You'd love it. Can we just say you have to see it, because it has so many very funny... like it's very... Okay, so as much as you might love a good comedy, there's lots of good comedies that are a really enjoyable romp and that you laugh and you have that kind of, ha, that's funny. Life of Brian, I don't know why. I'll digress a little bit. Ben, hear me out on this one. We had a physics teacher who was called She Legs, because the story was that he'd shit himself, so he had shit legs, and he had a very tough time controlling my physics class because we weren't the top set in physics, right? We were. I don't know if there was a top set, but we weren't it. We were definitely, you look around the classroom and go, oh, I'm not clever, am I? This is all the clever kids have been taken out of the room, and it's just me and all the kids who are basically ADHD before we knew what that was, right? So one day he brought in this ticker trolley, right? And he put it on some tracks, and he goes, right, this is a ticker trolley, and the ticker tape will come out of the ticker trolley, and we'll run it on the tracks. And of course we just lost it. We were going, ticker sir, ticker trolley, and so he just had enough, and he went out of the room, and he came back in with the television. He put Life of Brian on and walked out. And I had no idea what it was. And I don't think any of us knew what it was. But we were watching this film, and there's a moment in it which John Cleese, absolutely, it's hysterical. I was falling. I didn't like any of the people in my physics lesson. They were horrible young men. But we were all laughing together. It was quite unifying until But it's one of my favourite films of all time. I've seen it so many times. I can quote it. I'm one of those boring people that, it's just absolutely brilliant Monty Python comedy at its silliest. There's a Roman senator who makes people he says his name is Bigus Dickus, and he's got a speech impediment, so he can't say his R's, and he ranks with the highest in Rome. It's just, and John Cleese plays or no, it might even be John Cleese, but this is silly. It's the best, funniest film in the world. Watch it, enjoy it.
One is the one where the knight's getting a flesh wound.
Yeah, that's the Holy Grail. That's the Holy Grail. That feels a little bit like Arsenal season, if I may digress. I feel like, Watford, but it's a flesh wound. That's a good film. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. 3 shall be the number of the counting. 1 shall ye not count, nor 2, and 4 is right out. It's just fucking stupid. They do stupid better than anyone. Red Eye's like, what the fuck? You haven't seen Life of Brian? Right, end the stream, Dan. Tom has to watch it immediately. I would definitely listen. What's the strongest recommendation I can give you? If you don't ever watch another film, just watch that one. It is Life of Brian. It caused an absolute outrage because it's the story of a boy born and in the same place and time as Jesus. And it's a parody of how, the Christ story is formed, and it had all the clergy outraged, but it's not actually about Jesus, and that's one of the brilliant things about it. It's a fundamentally wonderful film with nothing wrong. It is, if The Postman has no redeeming features, it could be the antithesis of The Postman, because it has just redeeming features. It's a brilliant story. It's brilliantly... There's just so many funny bits in it. You will not stop laughing. Here we go. Rosie, Monty Python is the most overrated comedy troupe of all time. I said it. I don't give a shit. Good night, everyone. Take care. Just before you go, you are wrong, of course. You are deeply. I never heard of Life of Brian until right now. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Right, Jose. I know you've got time on your side because it's earlier in the evening. You have to watch that. You have to smoke weed and watch Life of Brian, because that's what weed was made for. There's no other film that you should watch until Watch is awesome. You listen, honest to God, I love recommending things, but I'm not one of those people who goes, oh, you've got to watch it, because I know people don't. But you do have to watch Life of Brian. You have to, if there's any chance at all of watching Life of Brian tonight. And I think, Tom, I get it, it's a bit late. Sunday afternoon, Saturday night, Tuesday morning, anytime you watch Life of Brian, you'll be grateful you watched Life of Brian. I can't wait to hear what you think of it. I'd love to hear it if you hate it, because I've yet to meet a person who didn't love it apart from Rosie. And I think Rosie would like it if they were Scottish. You know, I think the thing is, Rosie doesn't like them because they're English and they're the funniest people. They are the very, very, very funny people. It's just... It has a song at the end, always look on the bright side. Basically, I don't want to spoiler it now. I can't believe I'm breaking my own rule, because I should be allowed to spoiler a film that came out in the 70s. Right? It should be. You've had long enough, right? It's been around longer than you have. So, but at the end, when they're crucifying Brian and people come to save him, it's just so funny and it's poignant and it's silly, and it just, like, there's a bit where the crucifixion, they're going, crucifixion? Yes, first on left, take a cross. Crucifixion? Yes, first on left, take a cross. And Eric Idle comes up. Crucifixion? No, actually, they said I could get off scot-free. He goes, oh, right. Oh, well then, in that case, just take the right. No, only joking, mate. Crucifixion. Yes. Take the left and please take a cross. And it's just all the way through it. It's just Python-esque ridiculousness. It's almost like Monty Python is meant to parody religion. That's what it's meant for. It's like, you know, everyone in religion taking themselves too seriously. Please, please, please watch Life of Brian. I think we've done a good thing here. If those of you who have yet to see it, haven't seen it, you will be grateful for this show. Homework for the chat, watch Monty Python's Life of Brian. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it again. I'll do a watch along. Absolutely love it.
I was reading a thing about, I saw someone complaining about 48 Hours, for example, which I have seen. I've seen 48 Hours. But someone saying, oh, this is this character called the Major, and he's awful. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're supposed to hate him. The joke is that even in 1975, the Major is outdated.
Yeah, I know, right?
These are outdated views. You're not supposed to sit there and feel, you know, the Major's right, you know.
Yeah, he's not a sympathetic character. It's like, you know, that is so funny, because it's true of Alf Garnett, you know. I forgot what Till Death Do Us Part and all that. Like, where he's a socialist, East Londoner, Jewish socialist East Londoner, who's always been on the left side of, you know, anti-racism, anti-everything, but he plays a character parodying the stupidity of this racist character. And throughout his career, people always go, oh, I like Alf, he's spot on the money. You go, no, he's not. He's a dickhead. Like, I'm playing him as a dickhead. He's a dickhead. The Major, I don't find him offensive, but you're absolutely right. He's there in 1975 because he's old-fashioned and Basil Fawlty's that kind of conservative who hasn't moved with the times, you know, doesn't like people with open neck shirts and medallions, that kind of guy. But yeah, I went on a date with a Canadian girl when I was in Austria one summer, and she was lovely and everything, but I knew it wasn't going to work out with us, because she said, oh, I don't like Monty Python, I don't like slapstick humour. And I was like, that'll do that then. We have no solid foundation to build a relationship on here, because, like, you don't understand Monty Python. I don't think it's complicated. You know, I don't think you can say Monty Python's complicated. You either get it or you don't get it. If you don't get it, that's fine. But it's people when they don't get something and they get angry that they don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. So why does anyone else like it? So I don't know. Work on yourself. Don't try and work on me. Monty Python is fucking hilarious. All of that. The only one I'd say is Life. What's the one that's not that funny? The Meaning of Life. It's not that funny.
I always found it interesting, like, I say always, but like when people, like, they don't like that show because of that character. It's like, but that character at the time is meant to be the outdated view.
Yeah.
For 1975, he is out of touch.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not supposed to look back at it and feel like the show is out of touch because he's in it. The joke is on him, and by extension by you for believing that they are basically saying that his hateful views are right, which they're not.
Yeah, but they're parodying them as well. It's like I suppose the only area of concern in the modern sort of culture, why I suppose you don't see a lot of Monty Python, 40 Towers, is the Manuel depiction, because that is a little bit that's very 1970s England. These Spanish, he's from but the whole thing is a parody. It's meant to be absurd, and it's. I will say this: the scene where the Major, you can't do without him, is the moose falling on John Cleese's head, and he's talking, and the Major thinks the moose is talking, and you just think he's such an absurd character. Why are people like that? You've really got me thinking now, because there are people who they watch a depiction of a character and it's like they go into every drama or theatre or cinema piece expecting that everyone in it should be really likable. But that's not even true in Disney films. That's like going, I don't Scar. I like Lion King, but he's an arsehole. It's like, yeah, that's right. He is. I like Downfall, but the fella in the bunker with the moustache, what a dick. He did not get on with him at all.
The memes that come of it, terrible. It's so real.
I know. But the thing is, problem is, I speak German, so I know exactly what he's saying. Es bleiben im Raum, Jodel, Keitel. I know exactly what he's saying, and he's not saying the offside trap's at fault for the goal against.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know what he's saying, but in my mind, it's still annoying. It's like,
the actor who plays him, and that is an incredible performance. Sadly, passed away a couple of years ago. But it's
Bruno Gantz, is that
and he. There's a really great. Listen, I could actually recommend. I don't know if they've made it in English, but watch it subtitles. Erst wieder da, which is because you don't get a lot. Like if you watch BBC iPlayer or if you watch English television, you're going to get an awful lot of Nazi documentaries. There's one on Netflix that I watched the other day, which is Ordinary Men, which is based on a fantastic book about how the Hamburg Police Department became the most vile, disgusting, murderous outfit. So there's always something about Nazis, but the Germans tend to kind of not do it. They tend not to do a lot of films, documentaries, and programs about Hitler. Don't know why. But there's this one where they just went for it, and basically Hitler wakes up in the middle of Berlin in full dress uniform, and never explains how, but he's basically alive in modern day Germany, and eventually becomes basically a media personality. Everyone loves him. They just think, he's doing it's such a great parody of Hitler, but he's actually Hitler, and so it has him getting his own TV show, right? And so it's called Erst wieder da. It's hysterically funny. And I know people are going to think, hysterically funny German. Yeah, no, but it is. I promise you, it is really funny. I read the book and then they made a film out of it, but watch it with subtitles. Very good. He's back, I think, or look who's back. I can't remember what they call it in English, but he erst wieder da. I'll put links in the. Sweden marketed Life of Brian as a film that's so funny that it was banned in Norway. That is genius. I bet everyone goes to see that film. What We Do in the Shadows, brilliant.
I like the movie of that. I've not seen the series.
Yeah, I love it. I love the movie and the series. It has gotten a bit. It's gotten a bit shit though. So, but it's got Matt Berry in it, who I love. People always say, when I was working in marketing, I was going, marketing, and people always go, you sound like Matt Berry. It's like, I'm older than him. He sounds like me. Can we get it right? I've been doing that for longer. Matt, father, just fucking love him.
IT crowd, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, father. He's an absolute. He was actually Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which is one of those cult. It's funny with comedy, isn't it? Because you get these cult comedies, which actually you really want to like, because everyone you likes it, and everyone's you've got to see Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It's on BBC Two at 10:40 on a Wednesday night. They shove these things around, and there is a lot to be said for the time and night that you put a comedy on, makes it or breaks it. Arrested Development, which was one of my favourite comedy series, and they kept fucking that around. But that had Jason Bateman in it. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's Michael Cera in it, I think. I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes, but obviously I didn't see enough to keep.
I think it is one of those ones where if you don't really know the setup, it's hard to find. It's not belly laughs, not like Life of Brian, which indubitably is. That's brilliant, though, that we've got to a point where a couple of you haven't seen Life of Brian. I don't know how that's. Well, you must have heard about it, though.
Oh no, I've heard of these films, but I've never actually been in a situation where I'm in front of a TV and it's on at the start. That's probably the main reason I've not seen it.
And it's because you see a lot of films in the cinema. You're not going to go and see that one. I'm just going to look what platforms. It must be.
I had a look, but basically it's on Amazon.
Right.
Not for free.
No. Listen, what is it? £3.49. You know. I will sponsor your viewing of Life of Brian. I tell you what, almost tempted to put it on and just leave it running on this stream and just, we're not getting monetized anyway. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? John, they're all getting...
Oh no, they'll take your stream down.
Okay, all right, we won't do that then. But interestingly enough...
You'd get an email after about 10 minutes and it'd be, your stream's been taken off the air or something like that.
And John Cleese would turn up at my house and take my coin jar and go, give me that. What's weird is that Michael Palin, I'm from a not particularly posh bit of Kentish, Gospel Oak it's called, and on one side of the road you've got large council estates, and on the other side of the road you've got the beginnings of Hampstead Heath, and some very posh areas. So, but what's interesting is Michael Palin, I know the house he lives in because he lives opposite my estate, and when I used to walk to the shops, I'd walk past his house. He's got quite a nice house, but nothing over the top at all. And it was when I was 12 years old, and I got sent to the shops on a Sunday. But Round the World in 80 Days with Michael Palin was on. And I walked past his house and never saw him, ever. But on this particular occasion, he was on the sofa surrounded by his family watching himself on telly. And it was just a really weird... I didn't wave or anything, but it was just a really weird, how weird that is, watching Michael Palin, watching himself in the days before... you'd record that program or watch it. It was actually on because I got sent to the shops when I was watching it, and I was like, weird little but so Michael Palin, I know exactly where he lives, so if they do take the stream down, I shall be coming round to your house, Palin. I just watched a clip. I'm definitely watching it tonight. You've got life. I think let's do this thing where I ask you for recommendations, Tom. I ask you for them, not necessarily because I want the best films you've got, but just like The Postman. I thoroughly enjoyed watching The Postman. No, I thoroughly enjoyed that I watched The Postman. There wasn't a moment of watching it I enjoyed it, but I was really glad I watched it. Loads of really interesting questions. It's trying to be a myth and a fable in 177 minutes, where it could have probably done it in 160, but it's still... an interesting movie. The idea of it was worth watching it. So I get that you're not really recommending films, but if I promise never to recommend another film if you don't like Life of Brian, but you will love Life of Brian. Anyone who watches it, I promise I will. If you don't like it, I'll do another one of these food challenges like the Boy Tendio, bacon and banana pizza.
I'm sure I will enjoy it because I'm quite easy to make laugh. So.
Yes, but you'd enjoy it even if you weren't. It's brilliant. It is. I think funny films have a lot to do with the mood you're in, who you watch them with, and everything else. Like I've watched films I thought were hysterically funny, and then I remember saying to my ex, "Oh, you've got to watch Young Frankenstein. Oh my God, it was so funny. Oh, we loved it in the late '80s. We all pissed ourselves laughing."
At first, I thought you said you got to watch Anne Frank, and I was thinking, what?
As far as I know, they haven't done the comedy of that. That would take some... Whoa!
The last minute, apparently.
I had this image of me... I'll come in with you when you pitch your theatre idea. And you're like, yeah, cheers, Dan. And then before we go in, I go, what is it? And you go, right, it's a comedy about Anne Frank. And I'm like, oh, fuck. We're really doing this? Okay. Oh, we can pull this off. We can do this. It's a musical, if that helps. A quiet musical.
Called Kill Bill Clinton. the musical.
Mate, I think Kill Bill Clinton and the comedy of Anne Frank, we're on the edge here a little bit, but I still think Strictly Kung Fu is the one. That's the one I'm making out of this.
That's the one with the money.
Yeah, I'd say so. Big fan of Monty Python, Mel Brooks stuff, so I'm sure I'm going to love it. Mel Brooks is funny as well because you honestly, I don't think I've ever disliked a Mel Brooks.
He did Spaceballs, didn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen it though.
I've seen it once, and it was fine.
Yeah. What was the one I saw? 2000. It's set in a future and a past. I'd have to go through it. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was pretty good. What?
That's a movie.
If Jose's saying it is.
No, I know it exists. It definitely exists. I don't think I've actually seen it, but
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm starting to think maybe we could pitch some of these ideas because I'd love to have been in the meeting when I went, right, it's got Abraham Lincoln in it. Oh, okay, a biopic. No. Well, Abraham Lincoln, the president of... Yes, that one, but no. Hear me out. Vampire films. Any good vampire films? I just don't know. Interview with the Vampire, Long.
I'm not really a fan of vampire films because it's same with zombies. Like, I don't like the lore of it, being the fact that you can take it in whatever interesting direction you want, but you still always have to end up at the same place, as in there's no cure, and everything just bleakly continues.
Yeah, what you mean, like it's kind of built to be? Do you mean like there's no resolution to a vampire film except that everybody dies or the vampire dies?
They still exist. Like more one thinking with zombies, like Dawn of the Day of the Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they make one like called Land of the Dead, but the movie's never going to end in a way where it's like we've actually found a way to eradicate all the zombies.
Doesn't Day of the Dead actually do? I think isn't Day of the Dead the black and white one that's kind of really quite good actually? Starts in a cemetery with a brother and sister paying respects to their dead parents or something, and getting his radio. Right. See, I'm a recent convert. Go on, sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Carry on.
I was going to say I'm a recent convert to zombie films. I haven't really. I mean, I suddenly got into them, so I've missed out on many of them. Shaun of the Dead, I saw, but I like
Shaun of the Dead, but at the same time, I like it because it's a very silly version of a movie that I've seen before. If you get what I mean, like again, like Land of the Dead, like they're in a high-rise compartment building, whatever, but the zombies are breaking in and things like that. But I just don't like how the movies tend to end as in, well, the zombie apocalypse is still happening and we're probably going to die at some point, but the movie's going to turn off here anyway.
I have a problem. I mean, there's so many problems. If you start to really... There's one. I think the reason I got into zombie was A Girl with All the Gifts is a book I read, and
that's a good movie. I enjoyed that.
I haven't seen the film, but I've read the book, and I really want to see the film. They kind of do it by. That's quite an intelligent way of doing it because they say basically cordyceps, which is every insect has a different cordyceps that burrows into the brain of the insect, makes it want to climb to the highest place, and then kills it so that it can sprout and spread its seed as far as possible. And that's deeply interesting. Like, how the hell is that fungi doing that? And then it postulates, what if there was one that could do that to humans? But you get this idea that the humans don't live for weeks and days. Now, the thing is, as much as I love The Walking Dead, I did love it, there is a point where you're going, after a couple of years, won't all of these creatures have died? Like, what is keeping them moving? Because they're not, like... There's nothing actually making them move. The brain's rotted out of their head, but they're still... What do you think it is that makes people move about? Because there's no... And I know that you shouldn't watch these films and actually go, all right, let's try and work out how this is possible. But at least in Girl with All the Gifts, they do that. And it kind of works. I really liked it. So I think I thought I'll give these, like the one with Brad Pitt, World War Z, I liked. But you're right, there is only going to be one ending, isn't there? It's going to be like, the world's kind of fucked. 28 Days Later is my favourite movie of that genre. I really like that. I haven't, but now they've done 28 Years Later, and I'm not sure I could do it.
They did a third and a fourth movie. They kind of did a spin-off movie of the third one as well.
Right. So I only know of 20. It's like, it's that thing. The problem is, it's like The Postman. Well, The Postman gets around it by basically having everyone dressed in the clothes they turned up to the auditions in. So it's like, it's a dystopia, but everyone's still wearing slacks, and it's very middle America. Whereas when I'm about to watch 28 Years Later, I sort of dread that how do they think society's turned out after 28 years of everyone living this gloomy existence, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to find it a little bit tedious. But does anyone recommend 28 Years Later? Because it's on. I could watch it tonight. It's on. It's on Netflix, I think. Or it was anyway. It was on Amazon, definitely.
Is it on Sky?
Might be, actually. That might be where I saw it. There's just so few films that I'm drawn to. Did you see The Heretic? Did we talk about this already?
Is that the one with Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
I did see that cinema. It's very good.
I liked it. I really liked it. And people have said to me, how did you like that? Isn't it really creepy? I was like, well, that's what I liked about it.
I thought it was interesting because I think he's a career villain in movies where he's not really the villain, but he made a living out of like being a lovable rogue in Bridget Jones, for example. And they've kind of like retconned it a little bit, where like now he's accepting that he's an older man, so he's not really got it anymore. So he's kind of being a bit.
And now he's getting to play really interesting parts. And
he's great in that particular movie. He was really good.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent in that film. And what's the other one that's going to drive me mad now that I'm so bad with the one where he plays the seedy, really camp seedy photographer, gentleman.
The Gentleman, yeah, he's the one that's being told the story, isn't he, for the predominant portion of the film.
I love it. I just never knew he had that in him. And he goes, ooh, he's just so brilliant in that film. There's a few, I mean, what's his name? Dunham. Is it a guy who was in...
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, that's it. Because he was right off my Christmas card list forever. Like, I was never watching another thing with him in it. Because of Green Street. Yeah, I was like, just fuck off. Seriously. You got a Hobbit who's more convincing as a Londoner than the fucking... Do you know what I mean? Like, don't try and do a London accent and be a gangster in... It's just awful film. Awful film. And I'll watch any Cockney, hooligan film. Come on, Football Factory, like we talked about before. So, but to see him in The Gentleman as well, I thought, he's pretty good in it, especially the bit where he's like trying to buy the mobile phone and then he pulls out the machine gun and he's like, he's fucking brilliant. They should just let him do his Geordie accent all the time. He's brilliant. And didn't he go off and I haven't seen it and I probably should have done, but the Hells Angels thing in the States, wasn't he the leading guy in that?
Sons of Anarchy.
That's it.
Which I think is basically that, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I see the first series of it, but I saw it then, basically didn't watch the rest of it. But it's not bad, but you end up, I'll tell you another way, I thought it was fine, but then something I actually really liked probably then dropped a new episode or something, so I watched that instead.
It looks good.
That or whatever.
It looks good, that and the Vikings looks good, but it always feels like a commitment, when you start with these things, because there's half of you thinking, if I don't like it, I'll just watch one or two, and the other half of you thinking, I know what I'll do, I'll probably give it the first series, which means I'll probably waste my life for 12 hours. And then if I really like it, I have to waste my life for like 100 hours. So there's a part of me that restrains myself from just going into. But Sons of Anarchy, from all the clips I've seen, it looks like it would be really enjoyable.
It's good. There's nothing actually wrong with it. I just started watching something else.
Do you remember what the something else was then? I don't have a series I'm watching at the moment.
Currently, series-wise, obviously I've been watching House, but I started watching Lost again.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched Lost for about 16 years. So
I told you I've never seen the ending of Lost, so I don't really know what's going on in Lost. But I just felt like, come on, man, this would have made a good 3 series. Like 5. You just straight. I don't want this much backstory, and every character doesn't have a backstory in an ideal. I'm just having this dread now. Imagine if I rewatch The Postman, but they give every one of the people in that a backstory, and you have to watch an hour of it. It'd be like.
It's actually really clever, because as you said, everyone gets a backstory. It's like they've actually created a show where basically they only have to really do about 4 minutes of plot for every character in the episode. Because this week it's a Kate episode, for example,
exactly.
or it's a Jack episode. So really, every character only really gets probably 2 episodes a season, where you actually have to put any proper focus into them.
Yeah.
Really, the show is about 4 characters, although they're going to tell you it's an international ensemble. But really, it's about Jack, Kate, Sawyer.
Which one's Sawyer? Is he the...
I believe he's like the Southern hillbilly.
Okay.
Who you're meant to at the start think like he's the villain, but he's really not. He's like a tragic... he's obviously the con artist, but because his family was killed by because of the actions of an actual con artist. And you're meant to supposed to feel sorry.
It feels a little bit puffy to me. Do you know what I mean? A bit padded out. It's like a nice suit with a bomber jacket on top and then a cagoule. It's just too much. It feels like comics. It feels like, when you read comics, there's so much more indulgence in a comic, because you used to read one and then another and another, and there'd be backstories and crossovers and all of that great. But in a TV program, I like it to be a bit leaner. I don't know. I like films that are by the same token. I like them, which is why I think I'm not going to pretend that if you cut The Postman down to a runtime of 90 minutes, that would really do much good, because if I was editing that, I'd probably just use a lighter. I'd just get kerosene and a lighter, and there you go. I've edited it for you. It's in an ashtray now. Do another film. Do JFK. Don't no more. Don't write. If you come to me with another, I've produced, directed, and want to star in it, I will throw you.
Kev can't get Morgan Freeman. Get your Robin Hood tights back on or something like that. You get some money.
We've danced around that issue, because it's been mentioned. I know you said it's a vehicle. You never really said what you think. I mean, it's a shit film, isn't it? It's just a shit film.
What, Robin Hood?
Robin Hood, yeah.
I've only ever seen it in passing. I've not actually sat and watched the entire thing to have an opinion on it. But from what I have seen, it's basically every bit I've seen of it. Alan Rickman's been amazing. Morgan Freeman's been Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Costner's been Kevin Costner in tights.
Yeah. There's a great Irish character as well, isn't there?
Qualified to have an opinion on it.
Yeah. I mean, but that's another film that's been on so many times. That's been on. You can't really avoid it. There's a good Robin Hood one as well, which made me laugh when it came out. It would have come out 10 years ago now, possibly a bit before. And they were going, "Oh, the accents are really confusing." And you want to go, what do you think people used to sound like back then? Because they didn't sound. You wouldn't understand people speaking early English like that. So when people go on about, oh, their accents are wrong, you go like, yeah, of course they are, because you wouldn't understand. It's a different language. Old English is not modern English, bruv. The channel name is crazy. I guess it is. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. Depends how young you are. Crazy, or channel name is crazy. I imagine that being read by someone who reads the Daily Mail and saying, this channel name is not acceptable. I don't know. MindCandy. I'm glad you're here. We're talking films. What we've decided, obviously, is that you are definitely going to watch Life of Brian. What am I going to watch? Because at the moment, I really don't think I'm going to enjoy Cliffhanger. You don't think I'm going to enjoy it either, really, do you?
I thought Cliffhanger was fine. But again, finding the fact of I'm watching it for knowing what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't expect Sylvester Stallone to change my life over the course of 2 hours.
Okay, that brings me to, I think, a really good question, but everyone can tell me if I'm wrong. Best Sly Stallone picture. Can't be a Rocky film.
Well, his actual best movie is obviously Rocky, but
yeah, you can't be that
quality thing. But alright, so
I like Copland. I think he's good in that. That's a stellar cast, underrated.
I have seen that.
He plays the guy who can't make it into the real police force, who is basically the sheriff in a town full of policemen. And Ray Liotta is in it with it. It was a stellar cast. It's got
They look down on him, don't they?
Yeah, because he injured. He was typical gushy Sly Stallone. He dived in to save somebody's life, and got punctured, perforated eardrum, and he can't hear, so he can't pass the basic tests. And so he can't be a proper policeman, etc., etc. But it's one of those where he's a goodie. Yeah, it's good though. It's got some. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who's in it, who plays the wolf. What's the name of the guy who plays the wolf in Pulp Fiction?
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel's in it, and I'll watch anything with him in it, including, hear me out, Taxi Driver, which I don't really rate.
I've seen Taxi Driver. It was good, but I don't feel the need. I don't sit there and feel like I have to watch Taxi Driver every year.
No, God. It's like
that's it.
And there isn't, and De Niro's, but that's exactly the point that you were making about you can watch Scarface because you're going to enjoy Al Pacino's performance in it. De Niro is unquestionably brilliant in Taxi Driver, but you don't really want to watch it again. He's just a sort of creepy guy,
I've watched it once, and I've seen the amount of times I've seen parodies of it. So if anyone ever talks to themselves in a mirror, they're parodying Taxi Driver, predominantly.
Yeah.
But again,
there's so many parodies of it.
Times.
Are you talking to me? I don't see anyone else in the room. It's like everything. It's always, but that's the bit. There are some haunting bits in it because it's a man imploding in on himself. It is a really sad film, but it is just when he takes, I can't remember her name now, the one that was in Moonlighting.
Is it Jodie Foster?
No, she's in it. It's creepy because she plays a 13-year-old prostitute.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if you could make that film today, but it's it's Sybil Shepherd, I think it is.
Yep, Sybil Shepherd's in it.
Yeah, and he takes her on a date to a movie, and it's a porno, and it's just weird, and it's just awkward, and it's cringing, but that's what the film's supposed to be. So yeah, he's right. Malt Licky Texas is right. I am going to watch Iceman. That is one I'm definitely going to watch. I want another one. I want a light-hearted one. I want a comedy, a vehicle. I want something like. I'll tell you what I really want to watch. What's that? Remember in the 90s when we made British comedy that people liked all over the world? What's that one about the guys who turn into strippers?
For Monty.
The Full Monty. Yeah, I want something like that. I want that kind of silly, lovable film. There's a really funny film. I really liked it. Very touching. I saw it over Christmas a couple of years ago about a Welsh community of miners, and they get support from a gay group in London. And it's it's a true story. It was like, how they were in it together. And it's just a touching, heartfelt sort of comedy and bits. Or things like, although I did watch it again not that long ago and really didn't enjoy it, but The Commitment.
A movie that Stallone is in. It's one of his early movies. It's called Death Race 2000.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
common film.
It isn't it. Don't you love it that the 70s had all of this idea of what the 2000 was going to be?
And it's
Death rate.
entirely wrong.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, totally fucking madly wrong. But yes. Am I wrong? Doesn't he die? Oh no, maybe is he the hero of that, or does he die in a car?
He's the villain.
Right.
Stallone
I know I've seen it.
Villain well, not literally. The villain is obviously the society, really.
Yeah. Oh.
But obviously, he's basically the rival of the main character, and he basically, I hate you, Frankenstein. You. I can't remember the exact words he uses, but he's basically playing Italian mobster type. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, Frankenstein.
He was a little bit easy to typecast, wasn't he? So is that he would have made Rocky by then, or
I believe it's like the year before it.
Right, because he famously wrote Rocky because he couldn't get any.
Yeah, Death Race 2000 is from 1975, so obviously did Rocky a year later.
Here's one. Yesterday, I liked it. I liked it a lot for the premise and the acting. It's very gentle. Cole. That is a really good shout. Yesterday, have you seen that one? You must have seen that one.
Is that the Beatles film?
Yeah, for some reason, only him and a couple of other people remember the Beatles. So he gets his guitar out and he plays Yesterday, and everyone's going, "Oh God, that's really good. That's really good. Is that one of yours?" And he goes, "No, it's like the Beatles." And they're like, "Who?" It's like the Beatles. Come on, don't piss around. It's the Beatles. You know, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and no one's heard of them. So he basically makes a music career just playing the Beatles songs in concerts, and becomes really famous until he gets approached by two people who remember the Beatles. And it's just a really weird. I love a film that doesn't try and explain what the fuck's going on, because that's not storytelling, is it? If you've got to explain how zombies are possible. You're not going to be able to, because they're not. Therefore, just don't bother. Just go, yeah, well, there's dragons. So Game of Thrones is basically dragons. It's all right. It's dragons. Didn't you know that? Fucking of course there are. I've just come up with Cockney Game of Thrones, didn't I?
Dragons, mate.
Dragons, mate. What do you want? Fuck off. So, have you seen Unthinkable with Samuel L. Jackson as a CI?
Michael Sheen is a correct. What's the best way to say? He's held on charges of suspected terrorism, and they need to get the location of a bomb off him.
Do they torture him?
Yes, they torture him heavily.
Well, that's the only way to do it, isn't it? I mean, torture's always... I mean, you can get people to tell you anything if you torture them enough. I mean, I'll tell you I'm a witch if you torture me. I don't know what use that is to anyone, but...
Yeah.
It is the American approach. I hate to say it, like in films anyway. Actually, I hate to say it. I think it's probably true generally, but if he won't tell you, then pull his... You know, it's like the Inquisition. So, I haven't seen it. Are we recommending that one?
I think it's an interesting watch, but I don't know how you'd get it, because I've got it on DVD in like 2008.
It's a YouTube. So, you can buy it or rent it on YouTube.
Oh, well, yeah, it's very morality heavy. Like, at what point is Samuel Jackson wrong for his actions to get the information?
Yeah, at the very point I'm a horrible anarchistic lefty, so I think the moment you start torturing people, you've sort of ceded the high ground. You know, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it for a TV pilot or something. You know, again, celebrity interrogation. Amanda Holden knows the secret location, but you torture her anyway, even when she's told you. You just I don't know. I've got nothing against Amanda Holden, but she is in the first episode.
That's a great movie. My Cousin Vinny is very good.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei makes that film. I wore this ridiculous thing for you. It's just Ralph Macchio, he's probably 40 in that film. Yeah, he's probably 40 at the point of that film. The guy never looks any older. He's 65 now. He looks younger than he did in the Karate Kid days. But it is that bit where Marissa Tomei goes, "Oh yeah, you're such a smooth talker." I just fucking love it. She is amazing. She's absolutely amazing. When they're having the argument. When she's having the argument, my biological clock is ticking. When she's having the argument with him over the suspension torque of a Chevrolet, and I just, come on, man! Like it is an exceptional film. My Cousin Vinny is absolutely brilliant, and if you don't like My Cousin Vinny, give your head a wobble.
But call you sausage.
Yeah, Unthinkable is a great movie, but it's very intense. It's not a feeling good film, not a film you watch twice. I think I'd watch it though because I love Samuel L. Jackson. American History X is a good.
Carrie Ann Moss is in it as well. If you're a fan of her from The Matrix.
No, I don't like The Matrix or anything about it.
Okay.
I just don't get it. I don't know. Like people feel so. They're so like, oh, I've seen. That's the whole phenomenon that's followed it, isn't it? Like, oh, I can see what's really going on. Oh, can you?
I've only ever watched The Matrix. I didn't watch the sequel or the other sequel, or even the newest one. I watched the first movie. I thought this is really interesting, like the actual the filming of it, like the bullet time. But then basically, I'm wanting to see it because the real reason I watched it is because I wanted to know why every fucking movie I'd seen for the next 3 years following that had bullet time sequences. Like why are people getting shot and flipping them backwards, things like this, and making the bullet because it's carried up the wazoo, obviously.
You know what? You're just so right. It's when everyone jumps on that bandwagon, and you're just like, yeah, look, don't get me wrong, but there seem to be people for whom effects matter more than plot, dialogue, character development. It's just, oh yeah, but it's brilliant. You know, he does this thing when it's all fucking wonderful.
I enjoyed The Matrix. So as a movie, I respected that they'd made something that, in my opinion, at the time was unique. But
that definitely.
Want to see I didn't want to get into the lore of it. Like I don't want to sit there and be like, that's a great one, Cole. Equilibrium with Christian Bale is a good movie.
I think I'm trying to work. I love anything with Christian Bale in. It's funny. I said that to someone. They said, "Oh, but he's a prick," and I was like, I'm not having dinner with him. I like watching. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why does it matter if Christian Bale's a nice person or not? But Equilibrium. I'm trying to think if I've seen it.
It's Christian Bale's in it with Sean Bean's in it and Taye Diggs, I believe it is. What's his name? Angus McFadden from Braveheart is in it, off the top of my head.
Ah, okay.
But again,
so that looks very. I have seen this. I'm sure. Yes, I have seen this. I think I enjoyed this, but it is very. I can see why it's come up in conversation while we're talking about. Yeah, it's the same trench coat kind of. I really can't.
Yes, it's very much like it's a bit like The Matrix. It's not.
That's what.
But it's the aesthetic of it. It's trench coats.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's marketed. I think I enjoyed it more. I'd have to go back but again, it's that kind of action scenes, the high speed, slowed down. Yeah, I mean. Isn't that funny?
I liked that they invented their own kind of martial art with the guns.
Gun fu. Yeah, gun fu. I like that, but isn't that whole point of having a gun so you don't have to fuck about with martial arts? You just pull the trigger and kill the person. It's like children can use guns. It's not I
think they were trying to get across that it's the most efficient way to kill more than one person with the gun.
Yeah, machine gun then, isn't it, really?
the real reason for it was basically they wanted to create a plausibility to have Christian Bale kill about 400 people at the end of the film.
And who could argue with that? That's a good. Do you know why? And suddenly out of nowhere, it's popped into my head. But it's about the apocalyptic train that can't slow down, and they have to go from the back to the front. What's that called? That I really like that. That's it. I really like that. I just really like that. And I don't know why that sort of just came into my head, but it is that kind of... yeah, no, I have no idea why that just popped into my head. Luke Watts is here. How are you doing, Luke? I think to see Dark City, apparently The Matrix was influenced by that. Okay. I want to see. Dark City, I don't know.
I think Kiefer Sutherland's in it.
Oh,
could have that totally wrong. But
Oh God, I don't know. Like he did Lost Boys, and I love that film. But what else has he? Oh, the Billy the Kid one, Young
he was in
Guns.
Stand By Me, wasn't he, Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, it's one of the older kids. That rings a bell. Elysium with Matt Damon, also underrated script. Elysium.
I definitely saw it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, it's like that Jude Law one where everyone gets an amount of time on their hand or their wrist, and you run out of time or whatever. I don't know why. I know Elysium. One of my favourite movies.
I remember is that there's like that humanity's colonised the moon or a different planet, something like that.
That's right. You've just reminded me. Absolutely. He stays on Earth, and everyone else is pissed off. So all the rich people have left Earth to go and live in Elysium, and something with something. They live now here. This is the one with the sunglasses, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? This is the one where when you put the sunglasses on, you can see that everybody. So it's basically the Matrix before the Matrix, you know.
Yeah, because you can see, like, basically you can see the truth. Like, you can see how humanity's been taken over by commercialism and things like that. It's very good. Yeah, it's free on YouTube. You can literally, if you type "You Lay Live" into YouTube search, it should come up with a video which contains the movie, and it's perfectly watchable. I only know that because I did it at Christmas.
I keep saying this, but I still haven't watched Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, and that's free on YouTube as well. Tim Roth and Gary Oldman. Come on, that's got to be worth a watch, isn't it? And it's funny. The little clips I've seen of it are really funny. One of my favourite movies they lived here, so that's it. Yeah, neither Sutherland is in it. Okay. Moon with Sam Rockwell. I remember that being really. I like him a lot.
He's good in a film with Nicolas Cage called Matchstick Men.
Oh, I love that film. Oh, that is a really good film. Yeah. That's really
not. I don't say subversive. That sounds really pretentious of me, but it. Just think about it. I enjoyed.
God, I like everything that I've seen him in. He was good in Billboards. I mean, he's the best thing in it. He was good in Seven Psychopaths. He's the best thing in that. I just really like him.
He's even good in Iron Man too.
I can never remember which Iron Man I've seen. I think I've seen them all, and I don't hate them.
I don't say the main villain, but you know, he's basically the rich person that is a rival of Tony Stark.
Great in Green Mile. Yeah, very good shout. I love that film. See, Tom Hanks, Kevin Costner and Tom Hanks are kind of the same, and yet Tom Hanks is so much more nuanced and so much better at acting. You kind of, do you know what I mean? Like you can see. I mean, Road to Perdition is a fantastic film. Otto, which I watched recently, which is
tends to pick good movies. Whereas
apart from
Costner, it's the anti-Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Tom Hanks without the taste. It's like, I want to make a film about a dystopian future. Good. Yeah, they sell. What? And it's a guy that the rebirth of America. Okay, how does he do that? He delivers the mail. All right. Send in Tom Hanks, please. Kevin, help yourself to the buffet downstairs. We'll come and get you in a bit. I didn't like Hitchhiker's Guide. Huh?
The Terminal is fantastic.
I still haven't seen it. No, I've got to write that one down as well.
You should watch that. It's
tough.
Don't get me wrong. It's worth your time, but it's good. Like, it's quite heartwarming in some way.
Yeah, it's a true story as well, and the guy died quite recently. That it was based on. I just find I do have a problem. It's like I think Daniel Day-Lewis is an outstanding actor. I haven't seen everything he's done. One thing I haven't been able to watch is My Left Foot, and people always go, "Oh, it's brilliant." And I was going, "But I don't know how that's going to be brilliant." I'm ready to be wrong, but I haven't watched it yet. But with The Terminal, it's the same thing. It's like, genuinely, if the poster said "man who lives in an airport," I'd be like I've had flights where I've felt like that, but do you know what I mean? It's not for me. Actually, I think that would be my idea of hell, living in an airport. Castaway, I was going to say that's one I don't like.
I've never seen it, to be honest, Cole.
It's another one, like he's a UPS delivery driver and he gets stranded on an island. And because I'm an introvert, I watch those things, and these people are always trying to get off the island. I'm like, well, why not just stay on the island, man? Like, you know, no mobile phones, no fucking Her Majesty's revenue or tax collection, no noisy neighbours, just a tropical fucking paradise and all the coconuts you can eat. And this guy's trying to, he has I'm that much of an introvert that he actually makes a basketball his best friend, Wilson, I think it is. I forget what the brand of basketball is. And I'm like, I wouldn't even need that. I'd just be like, oh, bit of peace and quiet, love it. And then eventually they'd rescue me and I'd be like, have Arsenal won the league yet? And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, just leave me here, fuck it. Joe versus a volcano. Now that one rings a bell, but I definitely haven't seen it.
Is that a Tom Hanks film?
I don't know. I'm just looking it up now. It sounds like a wrestling film. I was going to say, is it a wrestling film? It's a rom-com. Oh, fucking save it for Rosie, man. Like, it's a. I was thinking about, like, because I've written this review for the Postman, and I'm going to do a review on this first. I'm going to basically MindCandy is going to be its own channel, and and I was thinking, I'll review lots of films. I like to review films and try and find a hidden meaning. I was like, well, what if I have to do rom-coms? I don't hate rom-coms, but like the opening of this would put me off it. It'd be the sort of thing that someone said, oh, let's watch this. And what is it? Oh, it's a 1990 romantic comedy starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And I was like, oh, haven't they fucking done that enough then? Like, do we need that again? Do you know what I mean? It's not Abbott and Costello. It's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Boring. So, Joe versus the Volcanoes. Cole, is that one of your favourites? Come on, man. I'm surprised that's never come up in any of our rom-com quizzes.
It can't be that good, or Rosie would have brought it up.
Yeah, like when a hypochondriac learns that he's dying, he accepts an offer to throw himself in a volcano at a tropical island. Along the way there, learns to truly love. I gotta say, actually, I'm starting to come round to that, because that's not your standard rom-com fare, is it? That's not bookshop owner meets other bookshop owner for long, tedious romance, and it's got Tom Hanks with long hair. I don't know, maybe I was a bit too hasty. Romancing the Stone, Jewel in the Nile, Bird on a Wire, classics. No to Romancing the Stone and Jewel in the Nile, and Bird on a Wire. Why don't I know that one? Classics. I think people are having. See, Cole's now going, it was a jest. Yeah, of course it was. It's your favourite film.
It's your favourite film.
Yes. You've got that on repeat, haven't you? Just as he's saying it was a jest, I'm looking at the trailer going, I'd give this a go, you know. I'm actually right. That's it. I'm Joe versus a volcano. I mean, that's a great little thing, you know. He's going to throw himself into a volcano. I'm not sure he will, because that's a weird way to round off a rom-com. But I'm going to go into this film open-minded, but actually really would quite like to see him throw himself into a volcano, just as a light relief at the end of a rom-com. Maybe she jumps in after him. Maybe she goes to stop him and then trips and falls in. I don't know.
It's got Abe Vigoda from The Godfather, and Dan Hideya's in it, and he's from Commando, if I remember rightly.
It's got? Oh, Abe. Oh, yeah. He plays not Clemenza. He plays
Salvatore Tessio.
Tessio. That's it. It was the good move. It was the right move, because he doesn't know if it was Clemenza or Tessio who sold him out. Can I get a pass for old time's sake? There's some moments in The Godfather you just have to like them, you know. Can I get a pass for old time's sake? Sorry, can't do it. Why do I like gangster films so much? It is obviously a deep insecurity, a deep-seated insecurity in me. Right, he's backtracking. Cole, you're better than this, mate. It's not bad for what it is. Meg Ryan is cute. Well, she was, yeah. No, I'm a massive fan of Meg Ryan's looks. But she seems to be all over the place in this film. I'm going to watch it. You know what? Iceman and Joe versus a volcano with possibly a bit of cliffhanger thrown in. I'm not sure. So are you going to watch Joe versus a volcano? Or?
I don't even know if I have access to it.
It's on Prime Video. It costs £3.49. Carl, this is your fault, by the way. Oh, hang on a minute.
Apple TV, Sky Store, Prime Video. I've got so many streaming services. I try to avoid actually paying the extras.
You don't, so you won't like. I don't mind paying £3.
Because I've already got Disney Plus, Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. So I'm sitting there thinking, if I can't watch a film in between all of that.
I hate to say it, but I find, do you know, I'm that kind of, I'm so impatient, like ADHD impatient. I don't even look at all the things I've got. So I've got Now TV with all the Sky movies. I've got Prime with all the free Prime stuff. I've got MGM and Paramount, and I've got Netflix. And I don't look through all of them before I go and buy it on YouTube. Or, do you know what I mean? I just go, oh, fuck, I could have watched that on one of many of the platforms. We've also got the Disney Channel as well. So it is basically, they keep ripping us off, don't they? Because just one more platform and you'll be done. It's like every day, Mike, because I have it set on my my current account, pings every time money leaves it. And it's an everyday thing, £2.49, £5.49, £7.49. It's like, what the fuck are those? And then you go, oh, it's MGM. I've yet to watch anything at all on that, but I don't want to cancel the subscription in case something I like comes up.
Yeah. I'll get the Amazon Prime, not so much because I want the Prime Video. That's just a consequence of it. Is because I'm quite cheap in the sense that I don't want to pay to have things delivered.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you I was Love Film and I rented the Goonies and never gave it back. And after about 3 years of harassing me, they folded. Love Film folded and it became Amazon Prime. And I owed them so much money. And I went, look, you're just a Prime member now. So I was like, all right. So I was Amazon Prime for ages before they even had the Prime Video really up and running. And I've never regretted it. Like I buy stuff and I want it the next day. And fuck all this waiting 3 days for something. I just don't have that patience. So yeah, I don't mind Prime at all. I don't really want to get rid of any of them. I do think that over Christmas, the whole MGM, and I was like, oh, they've got The Bounty, the one with Anthony Hopkins, really good film. Oh, I want to watch that. Well, I might as well take this subscription. It's £5. You know, I'm not going to notice that. And then every week it comes out, and you're like, actually, if you add that up, it's 250 quid a year. So I don't add it up, I just pay it. Fuck it. Watch Kung Pao, Dan. If you don't like the first 5 minutes, you can turn it off. All right, Kung Pao, Iceman, Joe versus a volcano, and cliffhanger. Couldn't we have a little bit more highbrow in there? Like, because I'm sorry, I'm not... Iceman, is that high? Would we say that's a... You know, am I going to feel like an intellectual if I watch that? Because that's important as well. You want to feel like you've, you know, maybe if Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. But I think we've got to 2 hours, 10 minutes, Tom. And I love talking films. And I want to go away and watch at least 2 of those films. You're going to watch Life of Brian, aren't you, before we do this again?
I'm going to, I can't make that guarantee, but I will look for it on TV.
It's one of those things where you'll love it. All I can tell you is that you'll love it.
I'm sure I will enjoy it.
So if you do get a chance, then do. Otherwise, you know what? If it gets to the point where I have to, let the Python please take our stream down. I'll pop it on here and just have it like in a. But apart from that, thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
Thank you for having me on.
Really enjoyed it. The next one will be on its own channel. Hopefully we'll still have people come, because Carl and Red Eye and Jose and Rosie, when she was here, just in time to say that she thought that Monty Python were the most overrated comedy troupe, which kind of hurt my feelings, and it shouldn't do, but it did. So Rosie, for all of you, Mortley, Texas, everybody who's been here, Anthony when he was here, Malia, who's probably fast asleep, Sam Greenwood, who's probably fast asleep in what I imagine is a Norwegian log cabin, Colles, every one of you, Lucky Singh, all of you. I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I've missed anyone, I haven't intentionally, and I love you all, and thank you for being here Sunday night for the Sunday Night Social, where we will be celebrating the joyous occasion of battering Spurs, or I'm just gonna I have to stop doing football YouTube if everyone's going to go this fucking mental every time we draw a game. I can't deal with it at all. Like, you know what? I want to be a Leeds fan. Like, do you ever have this fans that go absolutely...
Oh, we have our psychotic element.
Yeah, you do. I know that. But, like, I mean, it's this whole... it's the kind of whiny entitled bullshit, you know. I'm done with it. It's not good enough. It's a disgrace. And then the endless, you know. So if you're all in a shit mood, doesn't someone just want to go, yeah, it'll be all right. We're still top. But you say that, and everyone just rounds on you, like, you know, from the keyboard warriors come out with everything. You know, just taking a break from it. Anyway, no football. But thank you so much for being here. Thanks to all of you being here. And until we see you again, be lucky. I need a new catchphrase. Fuck it, I need it. Be mindful.
And eat that candy.
be candy. Something like that. We'll come up with something. But thanks so much for being here. And this is the bit where I play the outro. All right, toodle pips.